Hello, gentle people. I am going to share with you today, tonight, the process that I use for making this very particular kind of tea. It's good for sleep, it is good for anxiety, it's good for insomnia, a whole bunch of different stuff. So the deal is you can make it like super easy, but I love the ritual of making tea, so I'm going to go through like the whole process. But if you don't have time, I'm going to show you a quick way to do it as well. So I have a couple different things here. I just have my little candle for ambiance and a piece of selenite. I have some magnesium chloride flakes here, which I'll talk about a little bit later. I have 3 crystals here. I have a clear quartz, rose quartz, and a red jasper. And rose quartz is good to help calm you. It's good for insomnia too. Red jasper kind of helps you to stay grounded, and this particularly is in alignment with your root chakra. And then I just popped a clear quartz crystal in there just to kind of amplify the other two. So there's that. I have a little glass teapot here. That was my aunt who died a couple years ago. This was her teapot and I love her to pieces, so I have her little teapot. This is some stevia leaf, and I'm using the stevia because normally I would use like liquid stevia, but it's totally empty, so I'll just use some stevia leaf, which is like this, except this is a natural version, obviously. I'm going to use some valerian root. I'm going to use some St. John's wort, and I'm going to use some passion flower, as well as some lavender. So those are pretty much all the herbs that I am going to use. And the deal is this: when you're using herbs like this, stuff like the St. John's wort, the tea is going to need a little bit more time, right? So it's more of a decoction than anything else. And I don't measure nothing, I really can't be bothered. So I just put my crystals in the bottom of the pot, and you have to be careful because obviously, you know, you don't want to break the glass if you're using a glass pot. And I have this is some of my crystal infused moon water from the last full moon, and I don't know if you can see in there, but I always put, like, you know, the things that I value on a water bottle. And if you don't know about that, check out Masaru Emoto, right? That's the dude. So I put a little bit of my moon water in there, and now I start popping in the good stuff. So valerian, I'll put a little, and let me tell you, valerian does not smell cute. It is one of the most hideous smelling herbs you'll ever come across, even in the capsule form, but it is really, really good for you. So I have some valerian, which is good for anxiety, insomnia. It's a muscle relaxant, right? And it helps with pain. And the stevia leaf is just to sweeten it. And you know, some people like to think that I'm not cultured because I add stevia to my tea, but whatevs. I'm putting some passion flower in there. Passion flower is good for anxiety as well. It's good for insomnia, and it acts like a mild sedative, right? So in some cultures, people give their kids passion flower tea to help them sleep at night. I'm going to add some lavender, and these containers are just Old Spice containers. I never throw them away, I always recycle them. Add some lavender. Okay, I kind of went heavy on the lavender there, and don't go too heavy on the lavender because lavender is like super strong, not like I just did. And here is the bad boy of them all. No, these aren't bad boys, these are good boys. This is the St. John's wort, and I'm just kind of gonna kick it up a notch with some St. John's wort. St. John's wort is good for elevating mood. It's good for anxiety and depression as well. So now I am going to add, let me grab it here and not burn up myself in the process. I am going to add the hot water, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't even know if you can see anything. I can't even see anything with this video at this point. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right, there we go. Let me get those little guys at the top down. Come on, come on. Okay, there we go. All right, so there is that. Oh, and there's one other thing I'm gonna add. Give me one sec. And there is no editing because y'all know I have no idea how to edit. I'm going to add like 3 drops of mugwort essential oil. And I do have mugwort in herb form, but I used it to make an infusion, well, tincture. So I'm out. So I'm just going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was more like 4. But mugwort is good for PMS, it's good for cramps, and it also induces lucid dreaming. So there's that. All right. So when you're doing decoctions, you want to because you see the steam coming up, you want to cover it up, because all of these, you know, volatile compounds, you don't want them like going up in the air. You want the good stuff to stay in the teapot. So we'll just put this to the side here. All right, you come to the side. All right, this is a quick down and dirty version. If you don't have the time to go through all of this fancy tea ritual business, this is an easy way to do it. And why did I tie up back the bag when I know say I was going to open it back? I just forget. All right, so these are little tea bags that you can get them for super cheap, and they're unbleached, right, made out of cotton, which is good. So if you don't have the time to go through the fanciness, just add a little bit of the herbs. I mean, if you want to go through and measure and all that good stuff, feel free, but this is a quick way to do it. And this one was the valerian. This is the stevia. Look at me wasting precious stevia. Have mercy. All right, that's why I had this thing here. Why was I not using this? All right, some lavender flowers, and this is some passion flower. And let me just take up some of the St. John's wort with my finger. A little bit extra in there. And valerian root too. If you get the valerian roots in the capsules, it's, you know, like I said, it smells horrible, but it's really, really good, and it doesn't put you to sleep, but what's going to happen is when you wake up in the morning, you're going to feel well rested. So I made this little tea bag, right? And pretty much you have your little container, you drop it in just like regular tea. And this is my trick for this. I just put what do you call these things, clothespin, and drop it on the edge and add the hot water. And I haven't managed to burn myself once. Yay me. All right, so you see all of those things, that goodness coming up, you want to cover this up. And of course I didn't bring something to cover. Let me just cover that bad boy up. And because it's tea, but again technically it's a decoction, so you want to leave this for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and obviously that's like twice as long as you'd steep regular tea, but it's going to be very good when it's done. So before I start drinking the tea, I'm going to show you what the commercial version looks like. This is Dead Sea magnesium oil, and I got a commercial brand just to kind of see if it was good as the stuff that I make myself, but you'll pay an arm and a leg for this at the store. It's a lot cheaper to make it yourself, and pretty much you'd have to heat up these magnesium chloride crystals in some water. You put it in a spray bottle, you spray some on your stomach, and you can spray some on your arms and legs. Magnesium is one of the things that we tend not to have a lot of as humans, just in this day and age. So it helps to improve your sleep, it helps to relieve stress, provide deeper sleep, and it hydrates and strengthens skin, and it helps with aches and pains. So the little sleep ritual, the little anxiety insomnia sleep ritual, is some magnesium oil on the belly, hands, and legs, and then you mix some of this Buffy's Sleepytime tea, and you drink your little tea and you lie down and you're good to go. All right. I know it seemed kind of complicated, but trust me, it's not, especially if you enjoy the process. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace.